Hey everybody, how are you? I thought I would share this special experience with you. I've seen a few people on YouTube revealing their DNA results when they get them from Ancestry.com or 23andMe, and I think there's another one or two now, I don't know. But anyway, mine's from Ancestry.com. This DNA test was my Christmas present from Mr. L, from my fiance. Because I've wanted to do one for ages. Like, that's an awesome present. But a few members of my family have done it, like my cousins, my stepmother have done it, I think, and like, it's just so fascinating, it's so cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what this is, what the results are, what I'm talking about with DNA, this test tells you where your DNA has come from for like the last 1,000 years. So what you're made of, basically. And I think a lot of people who've done the test have been very surprised to find out that they're not who they thought they were, because I guess we have this very much this idea of our identity, like who we are, where we're from. My family, I come from New Zealand, my family comes from New Zealand, but only for the last like 3 generations have we been in New Zealand, and this is the case for like every branch of my family. Most of my family before that, so most of my great-grandparents came from Scotland. I know that there's a bit of England and Ireland in there as well. I've done a lot of research on Ancestry.com. I haven't like paid for a membership or something. Just the amount of stuff that you can access for free without the paid membership is like incredible. And I've made this enormous family tree, but I take it all with a grain of salt, I guess, because you can't really be sure without digging through actual papers. While building my family tree, there'd be like suggested mother, suggested father. I know that some of those are definitely wrong. There's definitely some margin for error, but from doing that, I've traced some of my family back through hundreds of years. I think the farthest back I managed to get was to like 1400 and something, which is a long fucking time ago. And yeah, I've traced generations and generations and generations of my family back to several parts of Scotland. So like I said, my family's from New Zealand, but my family identifies as being Scottish. Like, we grew up in a Scottish settlement. All the street names and all the suburbs are named after ones in Edinburgh. There's a statue of the poet Robert Burns in the city centre. We celebrate Burns Night. We have bagpipe contests. You can buy haggis at the butchery. Like, that's on both sides of my family. A big chunk of my family came from Larnac, so like just south of Glasgow, some from Edinburgh, a lot from the Isle of Skye, specific areas of the Isle of Skye, some further north, closer to John O'Groats. I just love genealogy. I think it's super fascinating. What I really want to know is, so my mother's father's mother was probably Indian, and the story as we understand it, though it may or may not be true, the story as we understand it was that my great-great-grandfather was one of those British colonists or whatever who came to India to run a tea plantation and got a woman pregnant and had children. I think they both died there. But anyway, my great-grandfather grew up as an orphan in an orphanage in the north of India, and the orphanage burnt down along with like all his info. But he apparently didn't really look very Indian, but just like a little bit. Apparently my horrible and racist Glaswegian great-grandmother from the other side of the family referred to him as like the coloured side of the family. And I've only seen one picture of him, but it was in black and white, so I mean, you can't tell. But basically it'll be interesting to see if I have any Indian in me. If that story is true, whether any of that DNA ended up in me. I think that'll be really interesting, because it's a whole branch of my family I know nothing about. Some people have seen their DNA results and been very surprised to find out that they weren't who they think they were. Ooh, but like, oh, I'm Italian, I'm very Italian, blah 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 blah, and then they find out that they're actually Spanish or Asian. Yeah, a lot of people have done these and found things about themselves that they didn't know. They've unearthed relatives they didn't know about. What it does prove is that we're all just one big global family. We're all connected somehow at some point. I think it's a nice way to bring people together. I got these results a day or two ago and I haven't looked at them yet. I've been saving it so I can share it with you. But in that time already like 3 people have written to me going, oh my god, we're like 8th cousins. It's like, okay, cool. We're all connected. I think that's nice. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping and let's look at my results. And if you've done one of these tests, or if you'd like to, let us know in the comments. And if you have done one, like, was there anything on there that surprised you? So what I'm expecting to see is Great Britain and Ireland, probably Scandinavia, because this goes back like 1,000 years, possibly some French, and maybe some Indian. Anything else would be a total surprise. So let's have a wee look. I don't know if the results will affect the way I see myself. Is your identity your DNA and what you're physically made up of, or is it the identity that you ascribe to yourself? Deep. I just got this email. I'm not nervous, this is so cool, this is so cool. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to doing this for such a long time. Oh, right, have to log in first. That helps. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, that's so funny. Okay, let's view full results. Whoa! Surprise! We've got United Kingdom and Ireland and Norway. Oh look, Scotland! Central Scotland, Ulster and Ireland, Northeast and Central Scotland. That's so funny. Okay, Ireland and Scotland 52%. England, Wales and Northwestern Europe 44%. Okay, that's not surprising. There's like little bits of history and stuff. Yay, the Jacobite Rising. I'm like, I don't know why it is, but I've always felt this like really weird, powerful connection to the Jacobite rebellion. I can't explain it. I just feel really drawn to that period of time and that particular part of history. See other regions tested. Oh, okay. So I am 52% Scottish, 44% just Great Britain, and it says Northwestern Europe, so we've got France is circled here. I think it's just like the general area, and Norway 4%. So other regions tested. So let's have a look. Whoa, alright. Africa. Have I got any Africa in me? Nope, none. Wow, like it hasn't shown up anything for India at all. Apparently, like, my great-grandfather came from, specifically Kalimpong, which is fucking where? That's it. That's me. I'm totally white. Whoa, who knew? That's it? Like, a lot of other people who've done these tests, it'll say like, oh, you know, 0.2% Portugal, or there'll be like little bits and pieces from all around the world, and I was kind of expecting that, just like random lots of other countries, but yeah, that's nuts. My great-grandfather who grew up in northern India, I have none of that. Northern England, oh right, we can get specific. Northern England, no connection. Southern England, no connection. Central Scotland and Ulster, northeast and central Scotland. Okay, we're back to Europe. Okay, let's have a look at France. Have I got any French in me? No. What? Norway. 13 regions of Norway. I thought this would be really clear and straightforward, but I guess there's actually quite a lot to this website. So well, this area is highlighted, but it's not showing up that I have connections to any specific regions. Do I have any French? Do I have any French in me? No. Well, it just real DNA matches. Oh look, it's found my aunt. Hello. When I don't look like this, when I look like I naturally look, like if I let my hair grow out or whatever, I look very Scottish, right? Like my hair is like Merida from Brave. It's just like enormous and orange and I'm very freckly and pale and I burn in like 10 minutes. My body is built for that part of the world. I'm guessing the Norway, the 4% Norway is from like Viking ancestry, which is pretty cool because Vikings are awesome. I think that might be all that I have to discover. That's, like I said, my family identifies as being Scottish. We are New Zealanders, we know we're New Zealanders, and that's where we were born and grew up, and it's a very wonderful place. We have all the same culture and traditions and stuff, and maybe that's why I feel so utterly at home in Scotland. Like, not England, or just Scotland. I feel like I belong there. Every time I'm there, it's just like, this is right. Apparently that's because 52% of my DNA comes from there. Thought we would see Scotland, England, maybe some Scandinavia. It's exactly what we got. Kind of surprised not to see anything from India or Asia. I really thought that there would be, like, if it's picking up 4% Norway from like 1,000 years ago, then surely if my great-great-grandmother was from part of India, then it would show that up being more, like there'd be more of it, right? Because it's more recent. unless it's possible to just not get any of the DNA from one of your great-great-grandparents, or that's weird. Yeah, wow, so basically I'm really white, and that's that really. I am who I always thought I was, so that's cool. I mean, I can continue with my feeling Scottish because I am, apparently. That's really cool. This was fucking fun, and I don't know, I feel good. I feel kind of confirmed. Now I feel a bit more sort of like I'm allowed to continue identifying the way I always have. I'm gonna have a play around with this, see if I can discover any relatives, have a wee dig through my tree, dig through other people's trees. It's really, really good fun. I think it's just nice to know who you're made of. With every generation that goes back, the amount of great-grandparents you have doubles. So essentially at the end of the day we're all connected somehow. Like, it's shown me to have what, like, was it like 2,000 or something, like 8th cousins or something. It's like, that's crazy. I mean, I'm gonna call my mum. I can't wait. I'm gonna tell my mum right away, because like she's been really interested in the whole, like, you know, India part of the family. It's like, well, it's not in my DNA. The proof is in the punch or whatever. The proof is in the spit that I put in that tube. Yeah, to do this, like, they take a blob of quite a bit of spit. Like, they send you, it was very easy, the kit. They just post you this little wee box, and it's got a tube in it, and you spit in it up to the line that's marked in it, which is like about a full teaspoon of saliva. Then you mix it with the solution that's in there and you give it a shake, fill it up, put it in the wee box that they send you, and send it back. And then a few weeks later they give you an email with this, and you were just given your results online. And I think that's really cool, and it's really easy, and this has been so much fun. I'm gonna go tell my mum and my dad and everybody. Be like, guess what? No surprises. Oh, I got an email. It's not very interesting. Cool. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, if you've ever done one of these tests, did it surprise you? How did it go? Was it interesting? Or like, would you ever do one of these tests? Doing these tests, it's like solved crimes, and people have like found their biological parents, and you know, they've found other siblings, and there's loads of stories out there on the internet. But so this is my story, I guess. So thank you so much for watching me and joining me. I'm really smiling. I don't know why. I feel really happy. I think it's just nice to know that's where all my stuff comes from. I'm hoping to get to Scotland soon and do a travel around and actually visit the places where I've found that my ancestors come from, like specific places around the country, specific parts of the Isle of Skye where I've like got records of people living and dying and getting married, and I'm like, that would just be really cool. Actually, I've traced this, again, may or may not be true, but like I said, I've traced like so much of my family to Larnock, like just south of Glasgow. I traced it all the way back to like the Laird of Blackwood. I'm like, ooh. Oh, so like my 11th great-grandfather was a laird, and there's a castle there, so basically I could rock up and be like, this is basically my castle. Yeah, I don't think that would really fly. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. You know you want to. Come and join us. And as always, take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and remember that we're all just one big interconnected family. And I will see you next time. Bye!